Hey guys, how's it going? It's Billy. Just wanted to first off wish everybody a happy Easter. Hope you all have a great day. Maybe spend some time with your family. Don't get fooled too much by April Fools. Um, anyway, wanted to come at you real quick with a thrift store update of sorts. I found a little bit. I'll tell you what, the thrift stores here the last couple of months have been absolute garbage. They've just been terrible. I haven't found really anything. As a matter of fact, I went into my local thrift store. I'm gonna say it's probably been 3 weeks ago, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. There was one album in the bin and about 20 cassettes. They were all gospel related cassettes. Two 8 tracks, which were junk, and about 20 or 30 CDs, which were all garbage. Typically, this place has hundreds of LPs, usually 100 or so cassettes. So a lot of stuff you've got to sort through, and hundreds of CDs. Sometimes you can find some good stuff. I mean, especially if you're willing to dig. But they went through and got rid of all this stuff. Now, what they do. I have a lady there that I've gotten pretty close with. We're on a first name basis, and she kind of gives me a little bit of a heads up if there's stuff in the back that maybe you're getting ready to come out. We talk a little bit from time to time. Anyhow, she was there and said, "Hey, did you see the albums that came out?" And I'm like, "Well, there's nothing over there." And she said, "Well, we did just what they do is they have a." This place has a 50% off sale the last weekend of every month. However, so they cleared all that out. She did tell me that that is all changing. So this was the last time when she told me this. It was the day I got this stuff that I'm showing you. So I went in. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday of this week. One of those 2 days. I went in. No, it was Friday because I had lunch with a friend of mine on Friday. Right after lunch, we stopped in at Goodwill, and there was probably 50 LPs, 40 or 50 cassettes, and a handful of CDs. A little bit more than they had prior to, but obviously some fresh stock had just come out. And she had stopped me and said, "Hey, did you see the LPs yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't had a chance to make it over there." First place I always stop is just to check out if they have any new receivers, because receivers or cassette decks, 8-track decks, things like that, because they do frequently get that sort of stuff, and it's usually very cheap, $6, $8, $10. I think the most I paid was $12 for the Rant receiver that I got about 6 months ago there. Excuse me. Anyway, as soon as she said, "Hey, did you see the LPs that we just put out?" I ran over there and. Wasn't anything great, nothing knock you out great, but I did find a few things. And as I'm looking through, pulling some things, she's over there kind of organizing the area. So I just kind of ask her, I'm like, "Hey, what's up with the donations lately? Have they just not been coming in?" She's like, "Well, there's not been a whole lot coming in, but we did get rid of we cleared out a whole lot of stuff a week or two ago." And they're completely changing the way this particular store does things, which is kind of aggravating. But I think a lot of you guys, it leads me to believe that they're going the way that a lot of the other Goodwills across the country have gone. So it looks like my Goodwill scores are about to go down drastically, and here's why. She said what they're gonna start doing is, and what they've actually already started doing, is putting different color tags. I guess they have 4 different color tags on items that come in. Basically, the whole week will be red. Then the next week it may be green tags. Then the following week it'll be blue tags, and then the following week it'll be yellow tags. Let's just say. Well, when it cycles back to those red tags or whatever color tags they used that first week, all those items automatically go down to. I think they said they get rid of them. So basically it's just a cycle. So they can tell just by looking at the tag how long something's been in on the floor, and it automatically drops a certain percentage each week. So if it's been there a week, it drops, 10%. If it's been there 2 weeks, it drops 25%. If it's been there 3 weeks, it drops 50%. If it's been there more than a month, they get rid of it and just move it. At least that was my understanding from what she was telling me. The more interesting thing was the fact that everything, and she said everything that comes in that they feel has any collector value to it whatsoever, cassettes, LPs, 8-tracks, things like that, they have somebody that scans eBay and looks at prices of this stuff, and so they automatically mark that stuff up. And the kind of telling thing is they had about 208 tracks in there a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I picked up a bunch of stuff that I'm going to just record over, use as blanks. I'm going to bulk erase and use those as blanks. But I noticed some of them were priced more than the standard 50 cents. Some of them were $2, $3, $4. And it was like Elvis or whatever. So I kind of thought, well, who in the world is doing this? Well, that's why now. And then she did tell me that also some of the more rare stuff never sees the floor. It goes to their shopgoodwill.com. So they have a they have a bin. Excuse me. They have a bin back in the back. When they sort through all this stuff, if it's not something that it catches their eye or they find anything of any particular value on eBay, they just throw it out for standard price. If they think they can get more for it, they mark it up, put it in the showcase, or just mark it up and set it out there. If it's something that has more value than they want to put out, they think they can get more out of it, they put it in this particular bin, and then once a month, everything, somebody comes by and gets this stuff that goes on shopgoodwill.com. It's basically, I don't know if it's in the eBay, an eBay site, seller or whatever, but they sell that stuff for a significant amount more. So unfortunately, it looks like the super scores are going to be gone by the wayside here at my local Goodwill. So there you have it. I don't know. We'll see. So let's jump into this. I just thought I would share that with you guys. I know some of you guys are probably like, oh, that's old news, but it's new news here to me. They've just started doing it just recently, within the last week. So this stuff here was stuff that I found on Friday. Nothing great. Nothing gonna make you jump through the screen and shout for joy. But what is this? CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat, 12-inch single. Kind of thought that was kind of cool. Took me back a little bit. This is one that I did not have, but in great condition. Village People Live. What is this? Live and Sleazy. So it's a double LP. And from what I've heard, I think Vinyl Richie was actually talking about this in one of his videos a while back, saying that it's actually not a bad live album. So I picked it up, and excuse me, Rich, if it wasn't you that was talking about it, but for some reason I think it was you. These next couple, this one especially, I was very stoked to find. Chris Christopherson, Silver Tongue Devil and I, on Monument Records. Very, very nice pressing on the Monument, the brown Monument label, upside down, but you can see it there. Really nice, especially for what is this, 70? Doesn't say. I'm assuming mid 70s, 74, 75 era, something like that. But there you have it. Great. I was stoked to find that one. And then this is just a comp, songs of Christopherson. Glad to get that one. And this is an upgrade, actually. Best of Merle Haggard on the Capitol. And it's one of those that's kind of tucked away inside here. So, but my copy was kind of roached. This is a beautiful copy. The vinyl's in stellar condition. All these were 50 cents. This was one Glenn Campbell record that I did not have. Hey Little One. This was trying to think. Again, this one doesn't have a year on it either, but it only has his first two. It has by the time I get to Phoenix and Gentle on my mind. So it's an early Glen Campbell. You can just tell by the picture on there as well. Glad to have that one. I picked these up from my sister. She's a huge Joan Baez fan. This is Farewell Angelina, and these have a little bit of wear to them, but again, the vinyl in great shape. And this is volume 2, and these are originals here on the Vanguard label, so you can see there. And then these next two I just picked up. They kind of caught my eye, and I thought, okay, this could be something I could either be into or somebody may be into. But this is Leon Redbone. What is that? From Branch to Branch. So it's something I don't see very often, and I just thought, you know, I'll give that a shot, especially for 50 cents. This one I was very intrigued about and stoked to find as well. This is Lord Sutch and Henry. And heavy friends, Lord Sutch and Henry. Lord Sutch and heavy friends. It's Jimmy Page, John Bonham, Jeff Beck, Noel Redding, and Nicky Hopkins. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if it was Brian, Shamrockin' Records, that had shown this or maybe commented on it. Somebody's shown it in the vinyl community on Facebook in the last day or so. And I was like, hey, I just scored that at a thrift store. So very cool. Can't wait to hear this. I looked it up on Discogs, and it had pretty decent value, and a lot of people were looking to get it. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. Not for the value, but just because Jimmy Page, especially, you know, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, Jeff Beck. I'll give that a shot, and I know I will love it. So that was it for the vinyl. I did find a couple country CDs that I was missing, as I finally have got my CD storage everything's all organized now. I know what I have and I've had these at one time. The Garen from Omaha. Did I tell you I've had all these sons of bitches? Yeah. Well, anyway, I've had these at one time, and somewhere or another they've either gotten trashed, given away, stolen, who knows. But this is Doug Supernaw's first album, Red in Rio Grande, and then his third album, I believe, Deep Thoughts from a Shallow Mind. Just great Texas country. Love that kind of stuff. Those were 50 cents because being the last weekend of the month, all the media was 50% off. And then these were 25 cents on the cassettes. So some very cool stuff here. Some Alabama. This is actually Feels So Right, but it is a... what... trying to remember, Madrid. So if you look here, of course everything's printed in English as well as Spanish, but it has a Madrid copyright. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that there. A Madrid copyright. Cover my face there. Hopefully you guys can see that, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Picked that one up. And then these are all just standard U.S. mountain music. Roll On. And Just Us. And a little John Anderson, Wild and Blue. Love some John Anderson. A couple Charlie Daniels band things. I'd never seen this one. It's just the best damn band in the land. Kind of cool. And then these two are the same but different. So we have standard Million Mile Reflections, and speaking of reflections, get that glare off there. So there's your 2 Million Mile Reflections. The cassettes, I believe, are the same. Yep, same label. Epic. A little Willie Nelson, City of New Orleans. Waylon and Willie 2. And then last but not least, the only rock one in the pile, Dire Straits, Making Movies. So, nice clean copy. Need to get it, put it in a new case. But everything else is nice and clean. So that was it. That was my thrift store haul. And I'm probably expecting now that with the news that she told me how they're going to start handling things from here on out, it's probably going to be one of my last pretty decent thrift store hauls. But who knows? I'll keep my fingers crossed. And like she said, that they don't always, it just depends who's working that day when the donations come in. So we will see. I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. Wish everybody a happy Easter. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Eat a little bit and have a good time. And remember what we're celebrating today. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, take care. Peace.